What's up, guys? This is OddsAre here. I'm bringing you guys my week 4 match of the PCL, and this week we're facing off Storm and his San Deigo Sneasels, and he has quite a bulky team. He has Magearna, Mega Venusaur, Mamoswine, Suicune, Haxorus, Zapdos, Porygon 2, Bronzong, Girder, Nihilego, and Sandslash. His 2 Z users are Nihilego and Sandslash, so I do not have to worry about those coming at all, and I am bringing 6 Mons on the screen right now with I think a WinCon was my Mienshao. It did pretty well versus his entire team. The Raikou, I think it was mainly to outspeed certain things, get some T-bolts off, and be able to hit Mamoswine pretty hard with modest or a sphere. Also, I have Kyurem Black, which is just a powerhouse. It might be a subset. I don't necessarily remember that set too well. Metagross was a bulky attacker, which just dealt a ton of damage to his team with being able to live Earthquakes from Mamoswine. I think that was actually somewhat my Mamoswine check, because like if I knew he was going for an Ice move, I can just switch into Metagross and be a-okay. My next Mon is Audino, which was my only check to Magearna that I had on my team, and Clef is my WinCon for the most part, along with Mienshao. So Clef is a dual dance, single attack, store power, I do believe. So it has Cosmic Power, Calm Mind, Moonlight, and Cosmic Power and store power. So I can do a ton of damage to his entire team if I get set up to Cosmic Powers and like 1 Calm Mind. I can do a lot of damage to his entire team. The only thing that stops me is the Bronzong on his current team, and if he has something with Poison Jab up in front of me before I get 1 Cosmic Power up. So if I get a Cosmic Power up on a Girder, then he clicks Poison Jab, I'm perfectly fine. But if I switch into a Poison Jab, I'm not so fine. So we're going to jump right on into this match, and I do lead off with Mienshao, and I do believe he leads off with the Bell. I'm not sure if he calls it the Bell. I just call it the Bell, the Bronzong, and he does. It comes out. The Citra looks so nice. I'm so glad I finally got it working. Appreciate you, Aaron. Links down in the description below for Aaron, and links down for John Jr. for helping me build. He's been a great friend. I do get a +1 power-up punch on this set. I do actually remember the set now. It was High Jump Kick, Power-up punch, Aerial Ace, I do believe, and something else. I don't necessarily remember. He does opt to just get the Stealth Rocks up, thinking I might switch because of the Trick Room. I was feeling a little ballsy, not thinking he had actually attacked me, and I wanted to go for the High Jump Kick right then and there. And the Bronzong does go down, so 1 check to Clef is completely gone. He does end up going out into Magearna. He has rocks up on the field, which is kind of unfortunate, but not the worst. Not a huge deal. He does have a Trick Room Magearna team. That's what I'm assuming it is. So he's going to be probably max HP Magearna with max special attack with a modest nature. So there's no setup Magearna that will just completely outspeed my team. I do go out into Audino. He hard switches out into Girder because he's seen the Audino, and I end up clicking knockoff here. So the Girder does not have an Eviolite whatsoever, and that is perfectly fine. And I want to make another safe play here and go out into my Clefable, because I didn't think he'd be able. I didn't think he'd read the Poison Jab, and I didn't honestly believe he would have the Poison Jab because it doesn't make a ton of sense. But he chose the Poison Jab, so that is very unfortunate. And I was thinking, all right, there's no way he's clicking Poison Jab again. The dimensions are switched. If I have Moonblast or something like that, this thing is dead. And maybe he just thought he didn't need this thing anymore, and he didn't want me setting up. So he ends up clicking Poison Jab once again, and I lose my Clef. It was a questionable play on my part. If I had Moonblast or something like that on the set, I would have easily killed the Girder, and would have been nothing. That would have been it. And the Girder would have been down. I do end up bringing out Metagross. I click Toxic. I'm thinking the P2 will come in because I didn't actually expect the Girder to stay in at all, because maybe he thinks he just doesn't need it. I wasn't really sure. because I was so keen on him switching out here. Like, I didn't even consider him staying in. That's why I clicked Toxic a second time here, and then he stays in, clicks Knock Off once again. Maybe he is just wanting damage on the Metagross, but I just wasn't seeing it at the time, because one Zen Headbutt completely kills him no matter what. This Zen Headbutt will kill the Skirter, and I could have had full HP Shukaberry Metagross, and would have been perfectly fine. He brings out Haxorus, which is fine. I don't have a switch into this thing anymore, so I do have to determine a sack, and since Metagross is at 9%, that is my sack. So I end up going into that. He kills me, which is fine. I wish I would have had more HP on Metagross, but it is what it is. I made some misplays early on in the game, and I wasn't expecting him to stay in as he did with Girder. And he does go for that once again. I lose another win con here because I wasn't thinking he was Scarf. If I would have just went into Audino, I would have been able to live that one Outrage, been able to knock off the Scarf, and then would have been able to at least done a lot better this game. I do go out into Kyurem Black. I know I can't live one, but I'm risking the confusion. And he has an easy switch into P2, which is perfectly fine. And P2 will end up just sitting here right in front of me. I click Ice Beam because it was a Dragon type, so I didn't actually have a Dragon move. So my only play was to click Ice Beam there against Haxorus. I do get the freeze on P2, which is extremely nice. I try and get a substitute up, and he immediately thaws out and clicks Tri Attack. That's unfortunate because if I would have been able to keep a sub, I might have been able to two or three shot the P2 depending on how many turns he got frozen. If he was frozen for 2 or 3, then I would have definitely been able to kill this thing and possibly been able to get back in favor a little bit, because my Kyurem check was not around, or like the Kyurem check would have been gone at that point. I do go out into Audino, which is fine. I can take special hits all day, and I mainly lose, or I get light screen up here. Probably not the best idea, because the only special mon he has is this and Magearna, and he's not going into Magearna. Maybe I was trying to stop the Magearna from coming in, but he already knew this was my check to Magearna, so I don't know. Anyways, he goes out into Mamoswine. I pretty much have to pick a sack again, and I decide to sack Audino. I didn't really have anything that I could win at this point, honestly. So just because of the misplays on my part and sacking certain mons off that I didn't. And if I would have knocked off earlier on the Audino with the Haxorus, it would have been a completely different game. But I didn't. I went into my offensive check thinking that I would outspeed, and I was mistaken. I do go out into Raikou here. I am modest, or not modest. I'm plus special attack nature or a sphere, because I don't think modest can get it's rash. I'm a rash Raikou, that's what it is. He lives on a sliver. That's probably a roll. I didn't actually check it. If I would have killed that, I still would have lost to Magearna and Haxorus all the same, so that doesn't necessarily matter too much. I would just got one extra differential point. And then finally I'll go out here into Kyurem Black, and he can easily just go out into P2, preserving the 4-0 and killing me off with some Tri Attacks. But he ends up being a great guy. He allows me to kill the Mamoswine, and we will end up winning, or we'll end up losing this 3-0 whenever this Haxorus comes in and just claims a kill. So there's that. This is my week 4 game. Hope you guys do enjoy, and I do apologize for all the games being late. I will be getting this one up today, and probably my week 5, and hopefully my week 6, just depending on encoding times and like what I'm doing throughout the day. But hopefully I can get all 3 of these games up. Anyways, hope to see you guys in a little bit whenever you catch that game. Later, guys.